Hey everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video on the channel. Here's some of the major changes that came in with Tuesday's update, which I think some people may have missed, or just ones that I think are really cool and I wanted to share just in case you didn't see them. Now these are just a handful of ones that I've picked out, so if there's any that you think I may have missed or ones that you really like, get them in the comments down below, and while you're down there, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and let's have a look at these awesome changes. Alright, first things first is a nice simple one that we've been requesting for quite some time. It is the cement truck. It has been added back into the game, but in the patch notes it is there saying that it's been added and people can build it once again. The next one, which I'm actually quite happy about, is relating to Milepost 0, and that is the NPC Aniki is now available once again. For some reason before when you bought this, I don't know if everyone had the same issue as me, but a lot of other people did, where basically you bought this character for your Milepost 0 outpost and they just wouldn't ever appear. You'd go into the room where they're meant to be sat down and they were just never there. I don't know what the issue was, but for some reason they weren't spawning. This has now been fixed. I've checked it in game and she is there in my Milepost, so fingers crossed she's there for you as well. There's a really cool new kind of quality of life feature as well when you're scrapping any of your legendary items or any other items for that matter, where basically it gives you a proper list now of the items that you could potentially get. This is mainly with the legendary weapons. I didn't really test it much with others because it shouldn't really have changed much, but when you're scrapping your legendary weapons or armor or power armor, it'll give you a list of the potential rewards that you can get. Now yes, this is given, you would presume what you could possibly get from this, but it's just good that it kind of lists it for you so you know exactly that you do have a chance to get one of the 1 stars, 2 stars or the 3-star attributes. A new feature which I think could potentially be overlooked unless you properly read through the patch notes, and this is going to be Lawson. The change of him is basically including in his inventory, so if you actually go and chat to him, you can actually trade with this character, and from him you can actually get some Brotherhood of Steel items, and you've also got a chance to pick up some Enclave mods, as well as the new Gatling Plasma mods, which is bringing us to the next point. The Gatling Plasma has got some new mods, and of course this is really cool and exciting news, especially if you use them. Now there is 7 new mods available for this weapon. This comes with the Flamer Nozzle, where you can get this by scrapping the weapon to actually unlock it. This converts the weapon into a Flamer style weapon. You've also got the Accelerated Nozzle, where you need to find the plan. This increases the fire rate. You've got the Gamma Wave Emitter, which adds burning damage and converts some damage into fire. You've also got to find this plan as well as all the ones after this. You've also got the Calibrated Capacitor, which adds critical damage. The Large Core Receptacle, which increases your ammo capacity. The Stinging Core Receptacle, which grants armor penetration, and the Swift Core Receptacle, which increases your reload speed. Lots of exciting ones, and it is a very viable weapon in terms of heavy guns, so definitely want to consider moving forward. A cool new addition which I kind of like as well, there's some new mutated events being added in. There's 5 in total with the Campfire Tales, Free Range, Project Paradise, Beasts of Burden, and also Safe and Sound being added into the rotation. Now finally, the last change which I wanted to talk about, which some people may have missed. I did do a video on this a few kind of weeks back, or maybe over a month ago now, and this is the change in what enemies are dropping. So you will notice after this new update, when you're killing enemies, they now start to drop lots and lots of different kind of junk items. This is actually mainly from the enemies which kind of use weapons in games, so any human variations, super mutants, anything like that, which would tend to drop their laser rifles or their combat rifles or whatever they're dropping. This has now been changed, so now you only have a chance of these dropping weapons, and from my experience testing it out this morning, they're not actually dropping the weapons that they actually hold. Like when I was killing the super mutants in the footage, one dropped a pipe weapon, one dropped a Gatling gun. These are not weapons that you tend to see super mutants carrying, so a little bit odd there, but you will notice that you kind of pick up a lot more random junk items from these to kind of replace the junk that you would have been getting from scrapping the weapons. Now it's good in a sense because you get a mix of different materials, but it's also negative in a sense as well, because if you were like me and you'd use the scrapper perk, you would get a whole bunch of steel from actually scrapping in all of the weapons that you'd pick up from these prior to the update. Now that this update is out, you won't be getting as much steel from these enemies. They still do drop steel scrapped, which kind of builds up, but as you can see from going through the first few rooms of West Tech, hopefully I've shown you can see, I only picked up 90 steel, which isn't that much compared to what you would have got compared to picking up and scrapping the weapons with the scrapper perk on, but it's still somewhat alright, so it's not the end of the world, but you are missing that bonus with the scrapper perk. The reason for the change is something to do with kind of making enemies more viable in the sense of their weapons that they're carrying should be higher level weapons, so they do more damage to you when they're a higher level enemy, and of course you can't drop these higher level weapons if they don't technically exist. Like a level 100 suit mutant should be doing the damage of a level 100 weapon in a sense, if that makes sense, even though they don't exist. It's kind of along them terms, hence why they can't drop them anymore, and hence why they've made this change. Prior to this update, I presume the suit mutants that were level 100 were using level 50 weapons, so they weren't doing that much damage, and the only way to kind of increase this was making this change, so that's kind of the reason behind it, if you get where I'm coming from. Anyways, that's all the major updates which I wanted to share with you today. No doubt there will be more, so get them down in the comments below, and stay tuned for more videos like this one on the channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, make sure to do so you don't miss them, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, as the more likes, the more support YouTube will give me, so that'll be lovely. Thank you very much, hope you enjoyed, catch you in the next one, bye bye.